Let me tell you something right now. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not with your boss, your spouse, your friends, or your competitors. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle against yourself. It's not the world outside that's stopping you. It's the voice inside that keeps telling you, you're not enough, you're not ready, or you'll fail if you try. The greatest obstacle standing between you and the life you desire isn't someone else. It isn't the system, and it isn't luck. It's you. Too often, we're quick to blame external circumstances for where we are in life. We say things like, if I had more support, I'd be further along, or if I lived in a better environment, I'd succeed. While those factors can influence your journey, they are not the ultimate reason you're stuck. The truth is, the greatest battle you will ever fight is the one happening inside of you. It's the quiet war between who you are and who you know you can become. It's not about the competition outside. It's about the hesitation within. Inside every person, there's a voice that tries to talk them out of greatness. It whispers doubts, fears, and insecurities. That voice tells you to wait until tomorrow, to take it slow, to settle for less than you're capable of. It convinces you that you're not ready, that you don't have the talent, or that it's too late for you to change. That voice doesn't shout, it whispers. And those whispers, if left unchallenged, become beliefs that dictate your actions. Over time, you stop fighting for your potential and start living within the limits of your fears. That battle isn't fought in public. It's fought in the quiet moments no one sees. It's in the decision to wake up early when no one is watching. It's in the discipline to say no to distractions when no one is applauding. It's in the courage to start again after failure when everyone else has moved on. This battle is deeply personal because no one else can fight it for you. You can have mentors, friends, or family cheering you on, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to silence the lies and step into the truth of who you are meant to be. Every dream you've ever had is on the other side of this internal struggle. If you've ever felt a calling to do something greater, it's proof that greatness is already inside of you, but it doesn't come without resistance. The old version of you, the one that loves comfort, fears risk, and avoids responsibility, will always try to pull you back. That part of you is strong because it's been fed for years. But the new version of you, the one who is courageous, disciplined, and visionary, can be just as strong if you're willing to feed it with belief, action, and consistency. We often think external enemies are holding us back, but most of the time, it's not external opposition. It's internal permission. You haven't given yourself permission to rise to the level you were created for. You haven't given yourself permission to stop playing small, to stop dimming your light, to stop running from the hard things that are designed to shape you. The chains you feel aren't physical, they're mental. They're built from every excuse you've made, every fear you've fed, and every moment you chose comfort over courage. This internal battle is daily. It doesn't go away after one motivational speech, one win, or one breakthrough. Every day, you wake up and decide which version of yourself will show up. Will it be the version that settles for what's easy or the version that reaches for what's possible? This isn't a one-time fight. It's a lifelong process of becoming. You must choose to fight for yourself, even when no one else believes you can win. The truth is, no one can stop you if you refuse to stop yourself. The world has seen countless people rise from nothing to greatness because they mastered this internal fight. They decided that their dreams were worth more than their excuses. They understood that fear was only as strong as their agreement with it. They made a decision to stop letting their mind be their prison and instead make it their weapon. Your mind can either be your greatest asset or your biggest enemy, depending on which thoughts you choose to believe. The most dangerous version of you is not the one who fails, it's the one who never trials. Fear will convince you that failure is fatal, but failure is only feedback. The real tragedy is not losing a battle, it's never stepping onto the battlefield. When you refuse to fight the battle within, you settle for a life of mediocrity, even though you were designed for greatness. You start living as if average is your destiny, even though excellence is your birthright. That's why this internal battle is so important. It determines everything about your future. Once you understand that your internal world creates your external reality, everything changes. The opportunities you desire, the relationships you want, the success you're chasing, all of it starts with who you are becoming on the inside. If you can win against your doubts, your fears, and your excuses, there's nothing outside of you that can stop you. External obstacles become stepping stones when your internal world is strong enough to handle them. The battle within is not meant to break you, it's meant to build you. Every time you say no to fear, you get stronger. Every time you take action despite doubt, you grow. Every time you silence that voice that says you can't and replace it with I will, you win another round. Over time, these small victories add up and you start to become unstoppable. You realize that no one outside of you has more power over your destiny than you do. It's not you versus them. It's you versus you. And that's a battle worth fighting every single day. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you possess, and at the same time, it can be your greatest enemy. The way you think determines everything: your actions, your habits, your confidence, and ultimately your destiny. Most people think success is about talent, connections, or opportunities, but all of those things are useless without the right mindset to handle them. If your mind is not strong, no amount of money, knowledge, or skill can keep you successful. Mindset is where battles are won or lost before you even step foot on the playing field of life. If you don't master your thoughts, you will live as a victim of your circumstances instead of the creator of your future. Every negative thought that lingers in your head becomes a seed. If you let it sit, it will grow into doubt, fear, and procrastination. Most people never see their dreams fulfilled because they lose the battle in their mind long before they take their first step. They convince themselves they aren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. And because they believe it, they act as if it's true. Your mind has the power to sabotage your destiny before you even start walking toward it. On the other hand, when your thoughts are aligned with belief and faith, nothing can stop you from rising. The battlefield of the mind is relentless. Every single day, your thoughts are being attacked by negativity through your environment, your past experiences, your failures, and the opinions of others. These attacks are designed to make you settle for less than you are capable of. But the truth is, you have full control over what takes root in your mind. You can choose to let fear dictate your life, or you can choose to stand guard over your thoughts like a soldier on duty, allowing only truth, vision, and hope to remain. Winning in life starts with learning how to fight in this invisible battlefield. What makes this battle so challenging is that it's often quiet. There are no flashing lights or loud alarms to warn you when negative thoughts are creeping in. They slide into your mind subtly and feel comfortable because you've been entertaining them for years. They become familiar, and you start to mistake them for truth. But familiarity doesn't make something true. Just because you've believed a lie for a long time doesn't mean it has to own you forever. The moment you decide to challenge those thoughts is the moment the battle begins to shift in your favor. Your mind will always try to protect you by keeping you in your comfort zone. But comfort is often the enemy of growth. The mind wants to keep you safe, and safe often looks like staying small, not taking risks, and never stepping into the unknown. That's why so many people remain stuck in the same place for years. They've let their mind convince them that playing small is survival, when in reality, it's slowly suffocating their potential. Winning this mental battle requires courage to step out of what feels safe and into what's necessary for your growth. There is a version of you that exists only in your imagination right now, a version with more confidence, more discipline, and more courage. But that version won't appear by chance. It will only emerge when you start renewing your mind and taking control of your thoughts daily. You must intentionally feed your mind with truth, with faith, and with possibilities, because if you don't, the world will feed it with fear and limitation. The enemy of your destiny doesn't need to destroy you physically. It only needs to plant enough doubt in your mind to make you destroy yourself. The most successful people in the world aren't those who never faced fear or doubt. They're the ones who learn to face those thoughts and refuse to let them dictate their decisions. They became masters of their internal dialogue. Instead of letting fear run the show, they learned to replace it with faith and courage. That's the level of control you need over your mind if you want to create a life of significance. You can't afford to let your mind wander aimlessly, because a wandering mind always drifts toward negativity. Think of your mind like a garden. If you don't plant seeds of truth, hope, and belief, weeds of fear and doubt will grow automatically. It's not enough to simply remove the weeds. You must replace them with intentional thoughts. That means reading the right books, listening to the right voices, and speaking words of life over yourself daily. It means surrounding yourself with an environment that challenges your thinking and pushes you to believe bigger. A strong mindset doesn't happen by accident. It's built through daily discipline and intentional growth. This mental battle is not a one-time fight, but a lifelong war. Just when you think you've mastered your thoughts, a new level of life will bring new challenges, and with them, new doubts and fears. That's why it's so important to make training your mind a daily habit. Just as athletes train their bodies consistently to stay at peak performance, you must train your mind consistently to stay mentally strong. Winning one round isn't enough. You have to keep showing up to the fight every day, prepared to conquer new territory in your thinking. Every limitation you've ever believed is nothing more than a thought that gained power because you allowed it to. Once you understand that, everything changes. You'll realize that the only thing truly holding you back is the narrative you've been telling yourself. Shift the narrative and you shift your future. The mind is the first place victory is won, and it's also the first place defeat begins. That's why mastering this battlefield is not optional. It's essential if you want to become the person you were created to be. No one is coming to save you. That's a hard truth. But the sooner you accept it, the sooner you'll start stepping into your power. Too many people wait for a perfect opportunity, a lucky break, or someone else to open the door for them. They sit back and hope for change while refusing to take ownership of the choices that got them where they are. The truth is, no one is responsible for your life but you. The power to change your circumstances has been in your hands the whole time. But as long as you refuse to take ownership, you'll stay stuck in the same place, blaming others for your lack of progress. Ownership is the first step to transformation because it puts you back in control of your story. When you take ownership, you stop making excuses. Excuses are the chains that keep you tied to mediocrity. They sound reasonable, they feel justified, and they often allow you to avoid discomfort, but they cost you your potential. Every time you say, I can't because you're giving away your power. Ownership means refusing to give excuses a voice. It means saying, this is my life and I will create the outcome I want, no matter what obstacles I face. That mindset shifts everything because it takes the focus off of what you can't control and puts it on what you can control: your actions, your habits, and your effort. The reason most people never see real change is that they want progress without responsibility. They want results without sacrifice. They want success, but aren't willing to admit that their decisions are what's holding them back. Taking ownership requires brutal honesty with yourself. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I am exactly where I chose to be based on my actions. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also the most empowering thing you can say. It means if your past decisions got you here, your future decisions can take you somewhere better. Ownership is not about shame or guilt. It's about power. It's about recognizing that you have the authority to change your life. Once you accept that you are the reason for where you are, you also accept that you can be the reason for where you're going. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop looking for validation from others and start validating yourself by taking action. Ownership shifts you from being a victim of your circumstances to the architect of your destiny. That shift alone is what separates those who live with regret from those who live with purpose. Taking ownership means embracing discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, but you won't walk across that bridge if you're still blaming other people for your life. You can't control the past. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you show up every single day. That's where true growth begins, when you decide to take action regardless of how you feel. Feelings are temporary, but discipline creates permanent change. Ownership is choosing action over excuses every single time. Action is what separates dreamers from doers. Anyone can talk about what they want to accomplish. Anyone can write down goals and speak affirmations. But action is what proves your belief in yourself. If you truly believed in your future, you would already be moving toward it. Action doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It means you're willing to start even when you're unsure. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had perfect plans. They are the ones who took imperfect action until they found what worked. Ownership and action work hand in hand. You can't take real action until you first take full responsibility for your life. When you stop blaming circumstances, you take back control over your decisions. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. You realize that your habits, choices, and mindset are shaping your future every single day, and that awareness pushes you to act with intention. You stop waiting for life to happen to you and start making life happen through consistent, deliberate effort. Action is not always glamorous. It doesn't always feel good. There will be days when it feels like nothing is working, days when you question if your efforts are even worth it. But action is a seed, and seeds take time to grow. Every step you take, even when it feels small, is building momentum. Ownership keeps you accountable during those seasons when results aren't immediate, because you understand that no one else is responsible for your dreams. They are yours to fight for, yours to build, and yours to bring into reality. Taking ownership also means owning your failures. Too many people hide from failure because they see it as proof that they aren't good enough. But failure is not final, it's feedback. When you own your mistakes instead of running from them, you learn faster and grow stronger. Action without ownership leads to blame, but ownership without action leads to stagnation. You need both to build a future worth living. That's why the combination of responsibility and relentless effort is so powerful. It puts you in a position where nothing can truly stop you. The people who achieve greatness aren't necessarily the most talented or the luckiest. They're the ones who decided to stop pointing fingers and start pointing to themselves as the answer. They're the ones who chose to get up every day and do something to move closer to their vision. They took ownership of their past and decided it wouldn't define their future. They took action when others hesitated. That's the formula for change: radical ownership combined with massive, consistent action. When you live like that, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone, and every day becomes an opportunity to build the life you've been dreaming of. Becoming the best version of yourself starts with understanding that who you are today is not your final form. There is more in you than you've even begun to tap into. Too many people settle for an identity that was shaped by their past mistakes, their failures, or the opinions of others. They believe the story they've been told about themselves instead of writing their own. But there's a version of you that's stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more courageous, and more capable than the person you see in the mirror right now. That version of you is waiting to be unlocked, but it requires a decision to rise above comfort, fear, and self-doubt. This journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming everything you were designed to be. So often, people chase success based on someone else's definition, thinking if they had what others have, they'd feel fulfilled. But true growth is not about comparison. It's about alignment. Becoming the best version of yourself means living in alignment with your values, your purpose, and your calling. It's stepping into the life you were created for, not the life others expect from you. That requires honesty, self-awareness, and the courage to make choices that others may not understand. You can't step into your best self if you keep holding on to the version of you that's comfortable. Growth always comes with a cost. It may cost you certain relationships that are holding you back. It may cost you your old habits, your old excuses, or even your old mindset. But every time you let go of something that no longer serves you, you make room for something better. That's why so few people ever truly transform. They want to change without letting go. But transformation demands that you release what's weighing you down so you can rise to a higher level. The best version of you is built in the small, unseen moments. It's not created in front of crowds or on social media. It's created in the early mornings when you choose discipline over comfort. It's created when you choose to study instead of scroll, to pray instead of panic, to move forward instead of giving up. Every choice you make either moves you closer to your best self or further away from it. That's why becoming your best self isn't about one big decision. It's about 1,000 small decisions that compound over time. This version of you isn't just stronger, it's wiser. Wisdom doesn't come overnight. It comes from a willingness to reflect, to learn from failure, and to keep going even when it hurts. Every trial you've been through was meant to develop you. The pain you've endured wasn't sent to destroy you, it was sent to refine you. The best version of you carries scars, but those scars, a story of resilience. They remind you that you've survived things that should have broken you, and because of that, you're stronger than you realize. Becoming your best self also means taking full responsibility for your growth. No one else can do it for you. People can encourage you, mentor you, or inspire you, but no one can do the work for you. You are responsible for your discipline, your mindset, your habits, and your vision. The best version of you is built through intentionality. You can't drift into greatness